So this will be the very first chapter of my debut novel, Darkling. And since I've written Darkling, I've written a lot of other books that, not all of which have been released yet, because some of them are part of a series that's going to come out soon. But the ones that have been released are a novella here called The Wild Frontier and a collection of short stories and selected poetry called The Country Beyond the Forests. Chapter 1. The woods are dark, and my mother weaves dried blossoms into my hair. They have to be dried because there hasn't been a flower in over a year. Not since the darkness spread, veiling our valley in shadow, which is why I am being ready for him. I stand before my little brother Jasper, who is clasping his hands and observing my mother's handiwork. He's only 7, but still he knows what I'm about to do. I'm wearing my mother's wedding dress. I was surprised it was such a perfect fit, for I'm 17 and she was 20 when she wed my father. It used to be white, but the lace has a tinged yellow quality from age, and there are a few holes in places where moths or mice have chewed. But it's good enough, and we aren't people who need much. Mending the holes would be too much effort when I'm only going to be in the dress for a short while. Willow, can I speak with you? I nod. There isn't really anywhere we can go to find privacy, so we step over to my bed. Willow, what you're doing is honorable, but I don't think it's right. He's the only one who knows my secret. Now I regret him knowing, because the look in his eyes is making me feel guilty. His jaw is strong and dusted with brown stubble. Somewhere, in between the sun and the darkness, we grew up. It has to be me, I say. It's not fair. Why? They're here, Jasper says, peeking out of the window. Fixing my gaze on Jasper, I try to step past Draven, but he grabs my shoulder. Why? He repeats. I close my eyes for a moment because I want to turn around and hug him. I want to feel his stubble on my cheek, smell the pine and leather that stain him, hear his heartbeat and never go out the door. But I don't turn to face him. I can't. So instead, I rest my hand over his. You know why, I whisper. He pivots his hand to grab mine, to squeeze it. I wait for the words that might make me reconsider. The pledge that would admit that we are more than just old friends. But they don't come, and I have enough fear of my own. I don't need his cowardice added to it. So I pull my hand away from his and step over to my little brother. Midsummer used to be a day of feasts and dances and bonfires. A day when cares were set aside for the joy of grass between our toes, warm hands in our palms, laughter in our hearts. Our celebrations dimmed with the light. Our ancestors said our bonfires asked the sun to keep burning beyond the solstice. But something has upset the balance of our woods. Something so deep that even our bonfires can't lure the sun back. And he has something to do with it. Of that we're sure, which is why I'm being given to him. My eyes frantically dart about, hunting for my little brother. I have no idea what Elias is saying because my heart is now hammering so loud that it's nearly drowning out the drums, and I can't find Jasper. Then I spot him, off to the side, my father's large hands resting on his shoulders. I can't go to him. I just needed to see his face once more. Elias is finished, I realize, for he steps off the stump and bows to me. The drums pause as the rest of the villagers bow as well. In the quiet, all I hear are distant whispers. I'm tempted to steal another look at my family, but know that it will only make it worse if I do. They are no longer my family. I belong to him, and it is time. I hold my head high and gather my mother's wedding dress, lifting the front enough to walk. I tug the veil out of my hair and set it down on the stump. It's worth too much to take with me, and my family will need whatever they can get their hands on to trade. With a deep breath, I turn my back on Morant, my home, my brother, Draven. The drums begin as soon as I turn, slow and heavy. Facing the woods, I can only see the trunks of the trees and smell the scent of musky earth and rotting leaves. The drums pulse louder, urging me onwards. So I take my first step into the darkness. I am the sacrifice. That's the first chapter.
Woo! Yeah!
Yeah.
Autograph.